The mask that won't come off. A lost episode that feels too real. Most people don't remember every Scooby-Doo episode, but there's one that some claim to have seen. They don't know where, they don't know when, but they do know one thing. Once you see it, it never leaves you. It doesn't show up in episode guides, it was never released on DVD or streaming. Even Warner Bros. Denies its existence. But if you ask the right people, you'll find whispers of an episode called The Mask That Won't Come Off. A case that feels off. The episode starts normally. The Mystery Inc. gang pulls up to an abandoned amusement park shrouded in fog. The colors feel dull. The sound design is off, like it was recorded in a large empty room. But it's still the same formula. Footsteps echo down hollow hallways. Velma finds clues. Shaggy and Scooby stumble into a hidden passage. A masked villain lurks in the shadows. But something isn't right. Whenever the gang talks, their voices sound flat, almost detached. And when the villain appears, their mask is different. It's not a classic monster mask, it's plain white. Featureless, just two black empty eye holes. And whenever the camera lingers on them for too long, the screen glitches, like an old VHS tape warping. The scene jumps ahead. It's as if something has been cut out. The mask won't budge. Finally, the gang traps the villain, just like always. Fred steps forward, gripping the mask. "Let's see who's behind this," he says. He pulls. The mask doesn't move. He pulls harder. Nothing. Daphne frowns. Weird. Fred grips the mask with both hands, straining. His face turns red. Still, it won't come off. Velma adjusts her glasses. That's impossible to have. It should just be a disguise. Fred keeps pulling. The villain just stands there, head tilted slightly, almost curious. Then the screen glitches again. For a single frame, something else is there. A face, but not a normal face. It's a black void, like the mask isn't covering skin, but hiding a hole in reality itself. Then static, and the mask is back. Fred stumbles backward, shaking. His hands are trembling. His breath is shaky. "No, that's not right," he whispers. Shaggy swallows hard. "Like, maybe we shouldn't mess with it, man." But Fred just stares as if he's seeing something we can't. And then in a quiet, almost reverent voice, he says, "I need to know what's underneath." The silence. Nobody speaks. Velma adjusts her glasses again, but her hands are shaking. Daphne takes a step forward, reaching for Fred's shoulder. "Fred, let's just call the police. We don't have to." But Fred doesn't move. His fingers twitch. He looks. He reaches out again. Not to pull, but to touch the mask. This time the villain moves. It leans forward. Just an inch. Just enough for its black eye holes to meet Fred's gaze. The lights flicker. For a second, the scene is gone, replaced by pure blackness. Then, we're back in the room. Fred is gone, the mask is on the floor, the villain is gone too. Or at least, it looks like they are. But if you watch closely, there's a new figure standing in the darkness behind Daphne, watching, waiting. And when Velma speaks, her voice is shaky. "Guys, where's Fred?" No one answers. The tape rewinds itself. The episode cuts to black. There's no final scene, no meddling kids moment, no reveal, just darkness. Then the tape rewinds itself, and the episode starts over. This time something is different. The gang is already inside the amusement park. Their eyes are blank. They don't speak. They don't investigate. They just stand there as if waiting. And when the villain appears again, the mask is already off. The black void stares back at the screen. And if you watch long enough, one of the characters will eventually turn, and they will look at you and smile.